Yeah.
All right, so let's go on the next one.
Review started.
Okay, so both are 10Q. So open corners, open sides. Okay. One space high pincer. I hope you have researched this. Is one thing I want to like. I see so much at this level is people playing Josekis just because they know the first move, or because that's the one they know and they don't know any other Josekis. I really want you guys to research your Josekis. Do not play them blindly. Okay. So I'm assuming black likely doesn't know this Joseki if we're playing here. So let's say your opponent does something strange to you. What do? Well, the worst thing to do is try to make it look like something else. That usually never works. It's going to give you a bad result. Just go back to fundamentals. I have a weak group. Let's play defense. Can I make a base? No. Right? I'm pincered. I can't make a two space here. Can't make a two space here. Wouldn't even want to. It's second line. So run away. All right. Boom. Run away. Defense. But you're playing here. Like, okay, I want you to watch how black defends. Watch this eye space. That's what I'm watching is black's eye space, white's surrounding and cutting points. So we're gonna watch all that. Oh well, I guess not. Don't leave. Like there's an attachment. This is urgent. Um, why did we pincer? Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like that we're just leaving. There's a fight happening. There's touching moves and everything. Okay. Possible. I really don't like this move. I think Michael. I think his name was Michael Fedora, right? Which is talking about this exact move.
Yep.
When I was watching, this is a really bad shape. So
Like
if the
fighting
shoulder
from
hit,
behind.
sorry.
It's like fighting from behind once bite responds.
Yeah. So I can like we consider this the shoulder hit. We call this the shoulder hit because it's on the outside. It's getting influence. Blah blah blah. So if we go on the inside diagonal, we can consider that the armpit hit. Armpits stink. Okay, we don't want to be there. If we wanted to approach it, we would approach it. But let's talk about why. First, I block. I'm super strong. I get my eye space, get my base. I'm strong. I have liberties. And then black is not strong. We have only 3 liberties. We can be Hanade. He's really weak. And if we try to run, we have 2 on 2, and then we get the Hane on the head of 2. And that is bad because it leads to a double Hane. And double Hanes are bad because double Hanes on the head of 2 are bad because these 2 stones have bad liberties. So as soon as we try to do other stuff, let's keep going. Look how bad these liberties are. Boom, I died. Oh, I have to fix. Okay, you fix. I peep. Oh, now I have to fix with empty triangles. Okay, now I'm threatening a connection to Suji. And look at that. There's so many ways to abuse this shape. It's just not a good shape. It's very you can squeeze it, you can cut it, you can do a lot to it. So you can do the double Hane. Double Hane is very powerful. So the armpit kind of like leads to your own double Hane. And it's just not good. I wouldn't pincer here because pincer here is not good because these 2 stones don't have a base yet. So you're attacking with weakness. So all I have to do is go right here. I'm going to go under your stones and steal your eye space while defending. I'm staying connected. I'm making eye space and taking yours. It's too good for black. And then cutting points. Okay, this ladder does work. I'd go ahead and just capture it. That way you don't get a ladder breaker because this is a big move and you get it for free for a ladder breaker. So just go ahead and take. It's equivalent to a big move because it prevents your opponent from getting a free Sentei big move. Okay, so you played here. This looks like you're defending a base. This is inaccurate because you already have a base. So defend these 2 or play a big move. So this is what you should do right here. But let's assume that you thought it was okay. I would play on the left or I would defend these 2 stones. That's what I would do. If I wanted to attack, I would go right here, but this is alive. And I would just leave. Just leave. That's it. Good enough. Okay. That is a ladder breaker, but this is something you learn at single digit queue. I really want the single digit queues to hear me on this. At single digit queue, you have stuff like this where it's like Aji exists. You can do forcing moves, right? Nothing bad will happen to your opponent, but you just get free moves. It's just Aji. Okay, it's just potential. What do you do with Aji? You do not force your opponent to fix it. It's very bad. It's Aji Keshi. What you do is you say, okay, how can I use this Aji to accomplish my goal? Okay, whatever that goal is, be it big move, be it attacking something else, defending something else, use that Aji to accomplish the goal. So let's give some examples. Let's say the bottom was the big framework and I wanted to expand the bottom. Well, what did I just do? I used a ladder breaker to surround this bottom position. So I got big move or value by using the Aji. So I could have just played a Knight's Move. Does that also? It might also be a ladder breaker. I don't know. But let's just assume this wasn't. I could just play a move and get value. But if I can play a move and get value in Sente, it's even better. That's the correct way to use Aji, is do your goal in Sente. Use the Aji to do your goal in Sente. Or maybe you do your goal twice as effective because of the Aji. That's sometimes useful in attacking. Like you do a leaning attack, and now your attacks are even more powerful because you used Aji to attack. So you need to think about, what do I want the next goal to be? And can I use this Aji to accomplish it? That is the proper way to use Aji. Do I want to build? Do I want to attack or whatever? Another example, let's say I wanted to Hane right here. I want to attack these two stones. Okay. Let's say maybe I kick and then he nobis and then I Hane. And I don't know. Let's say he starts running away. Well, guess what? I can cut and Sente using that ladder breaker. Not in this case, but this is a bad example. But sometimes you can do that, right? You never know. You don't know if this fight's going to go up there. You don't know if this big move is going to be big. So I really don't like that we're playing a ladder breaker just for a stone in this area, because what does this stone get? Is it building? Is it defending? Is it attacking? What does it do? If it does nothing, then we lost a free move. And we actually did it in Gote. So we played like Dame and Gote. Here, this is just like I talked about the last game, wasting moves. Is this defense, offense, or big move? None of the above. Black's fine. If we don't want to defend, run away. Connect. We don't want to attack. That actually almost kills white. So actually we can defend it Sente. We can defend that Sente and then go play a big move. Yeah, so here we go. This is a good way to use Aji. So we have Aji right here. Okay, we can unsettle. Okay, so we have to force. So we can force here or we can force here. Okay, well, what do we want? Do we want to chase and get thickness? Then we do it this way. Do we want to just settle in Sente so we can go on the left? Then we go this way, right? It just depends on what we want. We don't want to play a forcing move just because we can. We want to think about, what value do I get from this forcing move? And if you don't get any right now, then save it. Don't do anything. Save it for later. Maybe later this area becomes important and this forcing moves might actually matter. Might actually help you. Yeah, this one is really small. This one helps black fix. I do like black's defending here. Probably just settle. Now we're alive. We can go somewhere else. We don't have to worry about it. So I'm noticing the theme today is getting caught up in all these local areas. We're still at open sides. We haven't even left the opening yet, but everyone's fighting over here, but they're still like opening. So as soon as I settle, I can get an opening move. So what I want to do is fix and Tanuki. Just fix. This stone does nothing. I don't see any value from the stone. We're going to play here, 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 and die. Yeah, I don't see any value from the stone. Now I see value from the stone, because now I can Hane and Nobi, and there's influence. That's value. And I did all that for free. Now I can go back and defend and then play a big move. This one's Gote though. I can cut right here. These 3 stones are not alive. Read your cutting points. Cutting points is the most important thing to learn at double digit Q. At single digit Q, cutting points in the future are the most important thing to learn. Like cutting points that are coming is the most important thing to learn. I guess this is Aji right here, but is that really big? I mean, that cut does work, but I guess if we can defend it instantly, just defend it instantly. That's fine. But that's a lot of thickness, man. A lot of thickness. We'll just go like right here. I don't care. You take those stones. I don't care. And then I go like right here. That's pretty big. Oh. Get rid of these moves. Aji Keshi, you're fixing stuff. If this cut first off works. If I go down, this is dead. And if you block on this side, I escape. You can't block because too many cutting points, and you're dead. That's only one eye. So it just works. But let's assume it doesn't. Why do we want to make our opponent stronger? Why not wait? Because maybe we want to invade this area later using these cutting points, using this Aji. Maybe after we play the left side, the bottom becomes big and we want to reduce it. Well, we can use this Aji to reduce. I don't expect you to be able to use Aji at 10Q, but one thing I want to stress is get out of the habit of fixing Aji. Aji is so important at the higher levels. So this is really, really big. It's a really big mistake. Yeah. And technically all you did was make a weak group. But this left side's so big. Still open. If you want to fix, just fix. Why be fancy? It's just more Aji. Like all these forcing moves, just more Aji. Just fix. No Aji. There's a lot of nothing fights going on right now. There's lots of stuff. Imagine we just place a stone right here. Look at this framework. It's massive. Oh, and imagine we play like right here and then play like right here. It's massive. But we keep fighting over small stuff. And this is not even connected. So bad shape, I can break in easily. So make sure you stay connected. Be solid. Don't give me forcing moves. Don't give me Aji. And then be in the right location of the board. So I would say largest frameworks, big moves is the big mistakes, and lots of shapes, cutting points. Like for black, the shape stuff, just fix. Don't be fancy. And you don't even have to fix here. You're alive. So just big move. For white, don't play Aji Keshi. And for everyone today that are in these two games, the largest framework is so essential. There's a lot of moves that can be ignored. Well, what I like to call passing moves. A lot of Gote small moves. If we want to attack this, step 1, unsettle. Take the eye space. Okay. Then step 2, like this is a lot of eye space. This is really hard to attack, but it's pushable. That you can start surrounding. Or we can just play on the left and build. But if we attack this way, it's too easy. That's a double wing. 3/3 still open. So if this is the largest framework, I can just 3/3 and live. If you wanted to seal it, nice move. A lot of my students tend to think that, oh, I want to get more in the corner. But you're actually getting less because the further you go, the more invadable it is. So just fix it. Just fix. Less is more. Less Aji is more points. Okay, so you're going for the outside. The way to do that is shoulder hit and jump back. That's the better way to do that. Don't attach. Caps and stuff. This is the dog's face. And caps are better. Yes, there's an elephant's eye, but it's just knight's move. It's a very easy response. Touches leads to a lot of complications, cutting points, and potentially things die. So touching, get rid of this touching stuff. Like you did it twice. This is a bad shape. This is like desperate for life kind of idea. It's cuttable. It has bad liberties. It's not a good shape normally. So it's more for like desperation. This is overplay. This is playing a vital point before white is even surrounded. And this is absolutely alive. This is just bad reading. Yeah. If I just go up, you get no value from those stones. You just lost value in the center. So this is a negative exchange. I just actually taught someone this. Vital points are actually bad moves. Why? Because if they are alive, you're literally giving points. This is worse than passing if white is alive. So vital points are bad moves unless you kill them. So I want to stress that. Do not play vital points unless they're dead. Because if you do and they're alive, it's worse than passing. It'd be better off if you passed. It's better to reduce eye space. Then at least you don't lose points. And it's not surrounded. So this is not a group I would attack because there's eyes right here. There's eyes in the corner. This is very alive because it has eye space, base, everything. It's not attackable. So build the Moyo. I actually thought that's what you were doing, is building this Moyo, but I think you're trying to kill it, and that's a big mistake. Yeah, this is nice by white. Yeah, we're taking the eyes again, trying to kill. White is absolutely alive. If we're playing defense, if we're defending our territory right here, is that really the biggest move? Look at this large framework right here. That's a lot of more points than that. I don't care about that. You can have it. Look at that massive framework. Yeah, keeping your eye on the largest framework. All right. So because we only had 2 games, I actually want to maybe answer any questions that anyone has. Anyone have any questions?
No questions from me, but I guess it's Alex's game. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, thanks so much. Super helpful. You say like practice Joseki. My approach to that is to go on OGS, click the Joseki tab, and just like click around until I uncover typical things I run into, and then look through it. Is that pretty much how to do it?
Not quite, because that's a good way to get lost and learn unnecessary variations. So let's look at this. Okay, let's say you're playing a game, and your opponent does a Joseki that you don't know.
Right.
Then look it up afterwards, right? And then learn the simple the main responses first. Don't learn like all the responses to it. Just learn like 1 or 2 easy responses that you can do. Okay. Then after, as it becomes more common and you become more comfortable with it, then you can add on more responses and more options. So what I tell my students when learning Josekis is I tell them, okay, for every approach, like here and here, okay, here and here, you want to have a low approach and a high approach. High approach is star points extremely rare. 99% of the time it's wrong. So you can just learn the low approach. But let's say for each of the approaches, and including the 3-3, because I know one of my students got surprised by the 3-3 because they got lazy with their studies. They forgot to study the 3-3. Just because it's not common doesn't mean you don't learn it. Okay, so learn even the 3-3. Learn an approach move, and now you want to ask yourself, which direction do I want, A or B? And this to me is the most important step: direction of play. Josekis are tools to go in direction of play. Okay, so first I pick a direction. Okay, so when I want to learn a Joseki, I want to think I want a direction for both sides. I want a Joseki to go both directions, so I can play whatever the board says. That way, I have a Joseki, I have a tool that goes in whatever direction I need it. Okay, so now I know direction to play, but I also want low and high. Okay, so low and high. Okay, so now I have 1 low response and 1 high response for both directions of play. This gives me a lot of flexibility. Okay, so first I would learn 4 Josekis, 4 simple ones, for each response, for each approach. Okay. And then, of course, you also have to learn the 3-3 josekis because those are common enough that you have to learn it. Start with those. And then I tell my students to use wall theory. So ps.wall theory. This is a pro game database. Let me send that link. Okay, I tell them pick an opening that pros are using, like pick an opening, like Chinese opening, Sanrensei, Nirensei, whatever opening that you want to learn, right? And play that opening for a month. And if you're not able to play a lot of games in a month, maybe play that opening for 50 games. Okay. Use that database and say what josekis are likely to come about in this opening. Okay. Learn those josekis, just the main ones. Don't get overwhelmed because there's thousands of josekis. Just learn the main ones. Okay. The simple ones that you can use. Then go play it against your level. What josekis do they choose? Okay, then go back to the dictionary and say, okay, how do I respond to the josekis that my level used because they're not pros? They're likely going to do something different, or they'll do something new, and then you get like a high pincer or something. Well, then you have your opening. You can check the database, see what the pro responses are. You can also check the joseki dictionary, and then you find a joseki that goes in the direction of play that you want. You'd have your the database to show you the correct direction to play, the combination, and you're like, okay, what's a simple, easy to follow joseki response to their move that still goes in the direction that I want? Okay, and then you just compile josekis one at a time, and then as you become more comfortable, like here's a common one. As you become more comfortable, let's say you get comfortable with this joseki, right? Like you play that a few dozen times, you get comfortable with it. Okay, maybe you'll add on this one now, and then you learn the ins and outs of this one. Wait, this one. Sorry. You learn the ins and outs of this one. More complex, but you already know the other one. So what I don't recommend is learning this one first. Learn the simple one first. Okay, learn the josekis that is relevant to your opening, relevant to what you're experiencing, what your opponents are playing, and relevant to your skill level. In other words, you can apply it. You don't get lost. You don't get confused. Go from there, start with that, and then every time your opponent like plays out of joseki, like let's say they play a move, you didn't know how to respond to it, but it's not a joseki move, right? It's not in the dictionary, it's not in the pro days. So you're like, oh, well, clearly this is the wrong move, but I don't know why. Okay, well, guess what? We have AI, and we also have forums, friends, teachers. We can ask, figure out why is this wrong, and that's how we learn like the ins and outs of the josekis. And maybe if we even look it up with the AI, you're like, oh, this one's a new joseki that the AI recommends, or this is a response the AI recommends, or maybe this is like 1 point better, or maybe it's just something completely weird. Like AI can give some weird results. That's how I recommend learning josekis. Pick an opening, understand direction of play, and then learn the tools, the josekis, that go along with that idea. Does that kind of answer your question?
Totally, yeah. Very helpful. Thank you.